Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bob Wahl Show. On the Bob Wahl Show, we talk business, St. Louis, and real estate. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the Bob Wahl Show. On the Bob Wahl Show, we talk business, St. Louis, and real estate. I'm really excited because we have the very nervous Melissa Kaiser today
Hi.
with Cornerstone Mortgage, and we're doing a different type of episode today. I guess we're going to learn a little bit about Melissa and her business, but then we're going to answer some questions that we got from Facebook.
Great.
So we're switching it up this week. So Melissa, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Bob.
I'll have you start off. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
So I'm Melissa Kaiser. I'm a loan officer with Cornerstone Mortgage. I've been there about 3 years, and I've been in business and financing for about 10 years total. So I really enjoy what I do. I enjoy helping people, and something that I know I was mentioning to you is I really enjoy helping our first-time home buyers, people that are brand new, that have never purchased a home, that this is probably the biggest transaction of their life, and just, hand-holding, helping guide them through the process. And something I really enjoy doing is educating my buyers and making sure that they know why they're making decisions that they are, feeling empowered in, those decisions that they're making, like I said, and it's such a big transaction for them. And one of the reasons for that is because when I purchased a home, which wasn't too long ago, I was a first-time home buyer, and the loan officer unfortunately didn't give me very many options. So there was one option, it was this way and this is the best thing for you, whereas I find myself giving my buyers 3 to 6 options oftentimes, and I find them to be very appreciative of that fact, because then I give them the options and then it's really their choice and what they're going to do for their plan.
Yeah, and Cornerstone is Scott Chapman we've had on with Cornerstone.
Oh, he's great.
And I've done business with him, and Cornerstone Mortgage is a local company that has a very good reputation. So
yeah, thank you.
So as far as you kind of mentioned, the next question was what you like most about it. You kind of answered that though, right? So we can we'll start with the questions from Facebook.
Sure.
Meredith McVeal. Meredith, I apologize if I pronounced your last name wrong, but she's with Hillsborough Title. She asks how to ensure smooth. She's curious about knowing how to ensure smooth closings when getting a mortgage, and I assume that also could be when purchasing a home and obtaining the mortgage, but I'll have you talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
So.
I think it's really important to have a good team behind you, making sure that your real estate agent has your back, they have your best interests at heart, that you've got a loan officer, like I said, that's going to present you with some options, give you guidance on the different loan programs. And then, you've got your homeowner's insurance agent, you've got your inspectors, you've got your title processors and closers. So really just having a good team of people that have your back and that are going to represent you really well throughout the whole process. And then again, of course, just keeping you in the loop every step of the way is going to ensure for a smooth closing, because there aren't going to be any surprises. If there are any hiccups, let's get those kind of dealt with up front, so that we're not sitting 10 minutes or 10 days before the closing and then we're like, oh no, something's going wrong. Let's get in front of those issues if there are any, of course.
No doubt, for sure. And smooth teams working together and proactive communication is good. Also access, like just being available. I mean, some things, there's so many steps in the process. Not everything can be communicated at real time, but someone makes a phone call, you call the title company, loan officer, real estate agent, just to be able to get an immediate response to where things are at or what needs to be done. That's huge. Access is huge. It's when you can't get a hold of someone, that really starts to make everyone frustrated.
Right. And I pride myself on being, not just your 9 to 5 lender. I'm available on nights, weekends. I know people are out on Sundays at open houses. I oftentimes host open houses with agents as well. So, I try and make myself available all the time.
Great. The next question comes from, and I hope I don't pronounce this name wrong either, Darlene Hertz.
Darlene Hertz, yes.
She asked Darlene, we're going to skip your question until later on. We're going to do Diane Collins for now.
Oh, yes.
And go come back to Darlene because it's going to tie in real well to another question as well. So Diane Collins asked how to keep your privacy and your information from going to other companies when going through the loan process.
So this is a frustrating one for buyers and for people that are refinancing homes. I honestly am not sure of anything that you can do. That being said, unfortunately, all transactions that you do with a home are going to be public knowledge. That's partially because, the deed of trust is being recorded with the county. And unfortunately, there are people out there that their jobs are to prey on those people that have just purchased a home or just refinanced, and they actually might send them some kind of a mailer that even says Cornerstone Mortgage. It says your loan amount, and important details that you would think would make it a legitimate piece of paper. But it'll say something like, hey, you forgot to spend $75, for those title fees. Make sure to send us that check, yada, yada, yada. I always tell my buyers and my clients, do not fall for that. Or if you have something that's questionable in the mail, send me a copy of that and I'll let you know if it's legitimate. But for the most part, everything that you guys pay for, is taken care of at the closing table. You're paying for your title docs, your certification, your flood cert, your appraisal, all of that is yours. So there shouldn't be third-party companies that are coming after you and trying to get your information, but unfortunately they do.
Okay, well, it's unfortunately probably not the answer we're going for,
Sorry.
but it's a good answer because it's the right answer. So, so James Watt asks, how can people save money and when they should refinance? And then he also asks how to save money on taxes and insurance.
Yes, these are great questions. Again, I'm not going to have a straightforward answer. Everybody's situation is going to be case by case. So it really just depends on what the person is trying to do. If you're looking to refinance to save your money monthly, maybe you would extend it back out to a 30-year. Maybe you're looking to shorten your term, but you're going to take on a little bit higher of a monthly mortgage payment, but you're going to save a ton on the back end in your life of the loan interest. Another good reason to do a refinance would be is if you're trying to get cash out. So I think that was what we were touching on another question. If you have high interest, credit cards, if you've got student loans or anything like that, you can roll those into your new home loan as long as you've got the equity to do so, make one monthly payment, and then know that it's all taken care of.
Okay.
Not to mention that the interest is tax deductible on a home loan versus other kinds of loans. So it just depends on what's in your best interest. And I would just recommend that you give me a call, that we start the conversation to see what's your best option, and I'll just give you again what your different options are, and we can figure out what's the best for each single individual person.
Well, that's great, and that also ties in. So to touch on Darlene's question about benefits of refinancing student loans into home loans. I mean, I know one big benefit is like some student loans, if you're past, in fact, all student loans, if you're past a certain income level, it's not tax deduct. The interest is no longer tax deductible. That'd be one benefit of tying it in, assuming you have the equity in your home.
Assuming you can, write off on that.
So, and it simplifies consolidating debt. Also, it's simple, which I like. But that's a benefit. Whether or not it makes sense for you is another thing. But simple is always a good plus, that's for sure. So. Okay, and I thought, one more thing I wanted to add to James as far as how to save money on taxes and insurance. Insurance, obviously, shopping around. I always tell people when they're buying a home, it's a good time to kind of reevaluate rates from other companies.
Absolutely.
Because usually people have one or two cars in the household. Now they're adding the home. Maybe they're thinking. Maybe they have life insurance or thinking about life insurance. Like, it's a good time to reevaluate your finances, get some different quotes, because you can save $50 to $100 a month.
Right.
If just by doing that. So
absolutely.
Getting quotes, simple answer, but it's there's definitely truth to that. Also, saving money on property taxes. I did an episode on how to dispute your property taxes. I don't recall the episode number, but if you go to YouTube and Google Bob Wahl Show disputing property taxes or how to dispute property taxes, it'll pop up. Really informational video. A lot of people actually mention that they really like that one. So check that out as well. That might help you if you're interested in how to save money on property taxes. So other than that, that's all the questions we have for now. We're gonna do a shorter episode, which I like.
Okay, perfect.
Short and sweet's always good sometimes. So you're off the hot seat. So
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me, Bob. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. No, I appreciate you coming on. Awesome. So good time. And Melissa Kaiser with Cornerstone Mortgage. How can people contact you and find you on social media?
So the best way to contact me is through my cell phone. So it's 314-346-6264. You can email me or you can visit my Facebook page, which is Melissa Kaiser mortgage loan officer as well. And like I said, I make myself available at all times. If you want to set up an appointment over the weekend or before work or after work, I completely understand, and I make myself flexible.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you again, Melissa. And that concludes this week's episode of the Bob Wahl Show. Thank you so much for joining us. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you guys next week.